What's up, guys? Scoob from Dirt Soldiers MX and the Motocross Training Academy. Thanks for checking out the video. I really do appreciate it. And thanks for being part of the Motocross Training Academy and Dirt Soldiers MX community, or army is what I like to call it. I'd love to hear from you, so leave your comment below. Join the community by leaving your comment. I'd love to hear from you. I read all them comments. Okay, what I want to talk to you about today and show you today is the difference between the whip and the scrub. If you know what you have to practice between these two things and you're aware of it, you can go out and practice these things separately, and what will happen is you'll get it down quicker. And if you get it down quicker, you can start to apply this stuff on the track. And if you're not aware of what the differences are between the two, you're not sure exactly what to practice. And this will show you, I'm going to show you exactly what the differences are between these two techniques. And then, like I just said, you can get out there, you can start practicing it, and that might be the difference between out scrubbing a guy or just downright scrubbing a guy that's not even scrubbing at all, and that might win your race. Plus, they're just really both cool things to do, okay? So we're going to start with the whip. We got Ricky here on a video, actually on YouTube. He teaches this whip on this video right here on YouTube. I'll leave a link below because it's a pretty good video too. Alright, first things first, like I said, here's the whip. Let's watch this. What we do on a whip is say Ricky's coming up and he's going to jump here. He's going to whip the bike, the back of the bike, to the right. What you need to do is you need to lean to the left. You lean to the left. That's going to lay the bike over flat to the left, but you turn the wheel to the right. So if you're leaning left and you want to lay the bike over to the left, you pull on the opposite side of the handlebar, which would be the right. You turn right. So let's watch it. See, there it is. See how he's leaning left? See how his wheel turned right? Now what this is going to do is flatten this bike out right here. It's going to flatten it out to the left here, but it's going to whip the back of this bike to the right. Watch. Boom, there it goes. And what that is compression and rebound. And this is going to be important in the scrub. But the compression and rebound, you're either putting it out to the left or to the right by how you move and the techniques you use to turn that wheel, or the way you lean and the way you turn that wheel. It either puts it out to the right or the left. So what you do in the air then is reverse the movement. So you were leaning left, you lay the bike over the left, you turn the wheel to the right, the whip come out to the right here, the back of the bike come out to the right. Now you just reverse that movement of turning them bars to the right and straighten it out, and the bike will correct itself, right itself, which is crazy because it's pretty crazy how naturally the bike will right itself. It happens, it just happens. Another thing you can do to help you with that is give it some throttle, and that gyro effect of the wheel will straighten it out also. But there it is, and that's okay. Now, what you can also do, so let's say you wanted to do instead of leaning to the left and turn to the right and whipping to the right, you want to whip this bike out, the ass end out to the left. So what do? You lean to the right, okay? But as you leave the face of the jump, you turn the wheel to the left. What that's going to do is it's going to flatten your bike out to the right. It's going to lay it over the right, but it's going to flick this and put this back of the bike out to the right. That's the rebound. See how compressed the suspension is right here? In the whip, we are just letting that rebound go out to the right or the left by the movements we make off the face of this jump. So there it is. If you wanted to go to the right, whip to the right, you would lean to the right, but you would turn the wheel to the left. That would lay this bike over to the right and whip the back end of the bike out to the left. Just like, but that's not what Ricky does. Let's just take it back a second. Okay, but here it is to the left, okay? So he's leaning to the left. Let's bring it up a hair. You see how far he's leaning there. There he turned his wheel to the right. That's going to lay this bike over to the left flat like a pancake, and it's going to whip the back to the right. Reverse the movement in the air, land it. That's the correct way to practice a whip. Now the best thing you can do now is go out and find a tabletop. Take it slow. The key to this is taking this slow and feeling these movements right here. Feeling that compression. You're going to feel that down the face of the jump, okay? You're going to let the rebound happen, but the key is to start to lean to the left, turn the wheel to the right, and then reverse the movement. As you start to feel this and get this correct, it's going to come quick for you. Take it slow, take it easy. One of the things with a whip is you gotta jump a little bit higher, you know what I mean, to make the whip happen, a complete whip. But if you take baby steps and start to feel this, before you know it, you'll be able to jump a little bit farther, a little bit higher, a little bit farther, and next thing you know, you'll be clearing that jump, and you'll be able to do this whip by just having these correct techniques. That's it right there, guys. Now let's look at the scrub, the difference between the whip and the scrub. Okay, there's an awesome scrub. Let's take it back a second. Excuse me. Here's the difference in the whip and the scrub. With the scrub, we have to absorb that rebound. I just told you in that whip, we're putting that rebound out to the right or the left. We're letting that compression happen. We're letting that rebound happen. Now with the scrub, where the compression's happening, but we need to soak up that rebound so we can drive harder, faster into the face of the jump, stay lower, and still hit our landing. We do that by staying in the standing center of balance. Okay, we might even as beginners learning this stand a little bit taller than these guys are here. These guys are pros at it. They're doing really good. And what we do is as we leave the jump, we drop down into that rebound by dropping down and letting that rebound come up through our ankles, our knees, our back, our elbows, and absorb that rebound. Okay, and we don't want it to pop up and pop us out. The other difference is, remember I just told you on the whip, okay, say we're leaning left. We're going to whip the back of the bike out to the right, so we lean left, but we turn the wheel to the right. On a scrub, whichever way we're scrubbing, to the left or to the right, Nelson here is scrubbing to the left, Seeley's over here scrubbing to the right. Whichever way we're scrubbing, we turn the wheel the same way we're scrubbing. So what we do is we come up the face of the jump, we lean to the left, we turn to the left, and it's more like a flick of the bike, but you still turn to the left, and you drop down and absorb the rebound to the right. I'll show you that right now. Watch. Here they come off the jump. Now let's look. See, here it is. Here's Nelson doing a scrub to the left. Here's Seeley doing a scrub to the right. Now what he did was he come up the face of this jump. He was in the standing attack position. He absorbed the rebound as it was happening. He turned the bike to the left, opposite of what you do on the whip. Whichever way you're scrubbing to the left, you turn to the left, lean to the left, and you drop down to the right and absorb that rebound. There it is right there. See how his butt, he's on the outside of this bike. What that's doing right here is that's allowing you to absorb the rebound also by staying over here on this. Like, you're not putting all that pressure straight down into the shock to compress that more and get more rebound. When you get to the outside of the bike like this, your weight's more pushing straight down here, not down through this shock, all right? The other thing it's doing too is it's allowing you to lay that bike over far like that to get to the outside. It has them two purposes, all right? There's Seeley doing the scrub to the right. What he did was he was leaning to the right, coming up off the face of the jump. He turned to the right, same way, but he dropped down, absorbed the rebound to the outside of the bike, to the left, all right? So that's the difference in them. What you want to do is the same deal here. You want to practice this and get a good feeling for this. What you got to find is you got to feel the compression. You'll feel the bike compress up through your legs as you're going up the face of the jump. You got to find the timing of dropping down and absorbing that rebound. Take it slow, take it easy, and get these movements down first. Get it, just slowly start to feel dropping down to the outside. You might be even messing up a little bit, but you'll start to get it, and you'll start to feel how it works. Start to feel how you turn to the left, lean the bike to the left, but drop down to the right. All right. Now what happens is you get better with this. You can see what these guys doing. As you start to pick this up. Now, let me say this real quick too. Find a tabletop, practice on a tabletop, and you don't have to jump far to feel these movements and how they work, okay? But as you get better, you can start to up it and jump farther and absorb more of the rebound and scrub even farther, laying the bike over. And that's what happens with these guys as they get better with it. They actually effectively cancel the rebound by laying the bike over so far, and I'll show you that right now. As you get better with this and you start to get this down, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to lay this bike over. Look at this bike, how it's laid over, okay? They lay this bike over this back wheel has not left that jump yet. Matter of fact, if we took it back a second, he laid it pretty far over without even the front wheel leaving the jump. He still has to turn though. You can see his wheel turned up here. All the same things apply, but basically you lay this bike over so far that it cancels the rebound by doing that, and this is going to happen as you get better with it. Because look, what happened? Look at this wheel. I mean, it's crazy. Look how far it's laid over on this jump. What that's doing is helping Nelson here actually cancel that rebound, and he don't have to use his body as much because that force is coming up through the side of the wheel, up through this way. It's not allowing this the shock to compress, because it's not going to compress with like this. If the bike was more straight up and down, that's where you're going to get the compression, right? This thing ain't going to compress like this, come in this way and pop out this way. All that force is coming up sideways and sideways through the shock, through, you know, to the side of the shock, and it's not going to let it compress. So that's what happens. As you get better with this, you're going to be able to really kill these scrubs by laying this bike over so far on the jump. You still got to do all this other stuff, all right? You still got to drop down to the outside. That's one of the reasons you got to drop down to the outside to the right if you're doing a scrub to the left, because how far you have this bike leaned over. Let's watch him leave again. Boom. See how far his butt's over to the right side of this bike because he's doing a scrub to the left. Still turned his wheel to the left. And that allows him to lay that bike over that far and keep his weight over here and not compress that suspension. There's Seeley doing the same thing, but he's only doing it to the right. He come up the face of the jump, leaned the bike over, turned the wheel to the right, dropped his body, absorbed the rebound, dropped his body down to the left. There it is, guys. Get out and practice this separately from them two techniques, and you'll start to feel how this works. And believe me, this is how you do these two separately, and you'll start to really pick it up and really get it. All right? Remember, with the whip, we lean left, we turn the wheel to the right. That'll lay the bike over flat like a pancake to the left, but whip the bike out to the right. Reverse the movement in the air, land it. If we want to do lay the bike over the right and whip to the left, we just come up the face of the jump. We lean right. We turn the wheel to the left, and we lay the bike out flat. That'll bring the back end of the bike around to the left, and we reverse the movement and we land it. On the scrub, we let the rebound happen there. We just put that rebound out to the right or the left by them movements. On the scrub, we turn the same way we're scrubbing, and we lean the bike the same way we're scrubbing, but we drop our body and absorb the rebound down to the right. If we're scrubbing to the left, if we're scrubbing to the right, we drop down to the left. Now here, that's the difference between them guys, all right? And that's what you want to practice. But as you get better with it, I want to show you something else here. You can start to combine the two and do stuff. Don't do this right now. Really be aware of the two differences here and start practicing that first. And once you get good, here's kind of what you can do. You can see Dungy here. What he does here is more of a whip, but he uses the techniques more of a scrub. So what he does is he comes off this jump, he turns right and he leans right. That puts his bike more laid over to the right, but he just lets the compression and rebound happen, so it's more of a whip. You can see it here. So he does the techniques more of a scrub. He turns right, leans right, puts his back end out to the left. That's a whip. But he does the techniques of a scrub, so he's combining the two, but it's more of a whip because he just lets the rebound happen out to the left there. It's a nice whip. There it is. And he reverses the movement and lands it. So that's it, guys. But take them two first and learn them first. Slow, easy baby steps, and then you can start playing around with the combining the two and doing that stuff. All right. That's it, guys. Get out there, practice. I want to let you know also, I'm super excited. The Motocross Training Academy is about done. I got a whole new platform being built, and you're going to be able to stream videos right to your phone, which is cool. But what I'm super even more excited about is the way this thing will transform you as a rider. Guaranteed, it will make you a better rider, build massive confidence. So if you're not signed up on the list, go to motocrosstrainingacademy.com, sign up. You're going to get tons of videos, tons of tips, and you'll be notified of its release. All right, talk to you guys soon.